Tuesday afternoon, RCMP warning those blocking the highway at the Coutts border crossing. If they don't leave, they could be arrested, charged, ticketed, and fined. Some of the first to test Alberta's Critical Infrastructure Defence Act.
And we have now received reports of RCMP officers being swarmed and an effort to ram officers trying to enforce a barricade.
But some wondering, if we have some of the strictest fines in the country, why it took 4 days for them to be enforced.
Because, for any layperson can look at the act and you don't need a legal background to see it being violated, quite clearly.
With all due respect, I think there is an inexplicable law enforcement paralysis when it comes to right-wing groups.
You'll remember in February 2020, within a week of protests for Indigenous land rights that blocked rail lines across the country, Alberta introduced new fines for everyday things like highways, pipelines, and rail lines are blocked.
And even a law that says this protest must end has to be enforceable on the ground. And police that are charged with removing protesters from delicate infrastructure, be it a bridge or a roadway or a border, can often make matters worse before they make matters better, simply by moving in and arresting everybody.
This law professor expects police have been trying to de-escalate the situation since Saturday.
What happens when twice as many people show up the next day? What happens when that just leads to a further shutdown the following week?
But criminologists monitoring the handling of the Coutts protest can't help but compare it to how police handled protests like the rail blockades across Canada.
It does matter who is protesting and what they are protesting about. The positionality of the protesters and the body politic. There's no diplomatic way to put that.
So I think, again, when you introduce a law like the Critical Infrastructure Defence Act, it is to help ensure that you're balancing that right for protest, but also navigating, free flow of goods.
Because Bill 1 is a new law, never tested in court. If it's used, it could see a constitutional challenge of the fines starting at $10,000 and potential for jail time. In Edmonton, Carly Robinson, City News.